allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anyone have any questions on the agenda? Motion to approve? Bill, second. Mike, all in favor? Janice, any statements from
No.
resident?
No.
Well, she may be speaking for others.
Dr. Cohen, any student staff recognitions?
Not tonight.
Full business? None?
None?
Superintendent's report?
I think I will dispense with the superintendent's report since
Okay.
It won't be live information by the time people watch it.
Okay. Votes and resolutions. January 12th, we have to table, I believe?
We don't have enough
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
for
we
that.
don't- yeah.
Wrong for.
The 22nd.
We can do that one.
Motion to approve the minutes of January 22nd, 2016. Bill, second Rob, all in favor? January 26th. Yes?
Yeah, we could do that one.
Motion to approve. Rob, second Mike, all in favor? 4-0. Anybody have any questions on the first reading of the policies?
No.
No.
Okay to accept them all as a first reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We'll actually try to get them through the next time without questions. Any questions on the resolutions?
Nope.
Okay, take them as a group.
Yep.
Motion to approve Resolution 1516-113 through 119. Bill, second Rob, all in favor? 4-0. Want to thank the Miller Avenue PTO and the middle school PTO for their always generous donations. Any questions on personnel? Nope. Motion to accept personnel? Rob, second Bill, all in favor? 4-0. Okay, on personnel, we have with us tonight Mr. Peter Esposito, who is our Director of Technology, who was granted tenure time. We want to thank him for that.
Yes.
For those who don't know what Peter does, he does basically everything. His list of oversight is almost endless. System administration, database, data conversion, our reporting, all of our computer testing goes through him. Anybody who's been involved in the district for the last few
I
years.
have one comment.
Sure?
Spam filters.
Yes.
He's working on it. He's working on it.
I've never
Everything
seen
else
some-
is exemplary.
never seen so
Anybody
many
who's
girls
been
quit.
around for the last couple of years knows that we've moved to computer-based testing. We've gone to computer-based analysis and evaluations of our teachers. All of that has been done through the expertise and guidance of Mr. Esposito.
iPads,
So on behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you and congratulate you.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
Well deserved. Communications, the BOCES executive briefing on February 24th.
Jack and Mike were the last two.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? And the Suffolk Region PTA Showcase? Anyone? I don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
No, I'm not sure.
Did anyone attend the Longwood breakfast over the weekend? Or was the
I couldn't
weather,
get dug out in
preclude
time,
that?
so I did not make it.
I was scheduled to go, but quite frankly, I was exhausted shoveling from the day before. I mean, there was no way I was going to risk driving a car.
No problem. I was just curious if anybody went. Just, bear with me for 1 second. Just going back for a second, I'd be a little remiss. We also granted tenure tonight to Elizabeth Limonati, a TA.
Right.
So we want to congratulate her and thank her for all that she does for the district as well.
maybe ask her principal to give her our thoughts and thanks.
Okay, discussion. Field trips.
Thanks, Mr. Zukowski. Now that we're getting to the point that we'll present an expenditure budget for next year, one of the topics that we've reviewed is field trips. And I wanted to bring to the attention of the board that 2 field trips are not going to be recommended that have been recommended in the past. One is the senior trip to Florida, and the second is an 8th grade trip to Splish Splash just before the summer. And I wanted to let the board know why I'm not including these 2 trips in the budget. And the reason is that although fun, they are not permissible under state education law. State education law requires that all field trips be intricately connected to curriculum, and that we be able to explain what that connection is. And as much as I tried, I couldn't find any connection. I'm not a downer. I enjoy having a lot of fun, but it's not appropriate, in my opinion, for the community to support these 2 trips because they are purely recreational, and it would lead to some expense to the district. My recommendation is that folks can organize these kinds of trips on their own. There are lots of districts where the seniors themselves organize a trip in the spring of senior year. So I know that it happens, but it can happen outside the purview of the district. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the board, since probably people will be asking you questions.
Then I think we should also make some form of an announcement that these trips, we can no longer support them because of the requirements of SED, or something to that effect.
That's easy to do.
So, like, for example, the senior trip to Disney, for all intents and purposes, obviously, it's a fun trip. You go on rides, you do all that other stuff. But there's nothing that those kids could do on that trip that could be connected to the curriculum here. All seniors have to take economics, correct? I mean, just from a superficial standpoint, it seems that you could connect how Disney is run and having the kids go through that process of, how it's run and things that are done there, and they could connect that to economics, just off the top of my head.
I'm perfectly willing to listen to anything the high school has to propose, but they haven't proposed anything.
Oh, okay.
I suggested to them that they consider Williamsburg, since there are recreational spots there too, and they could do something at Williamsburg and also have a good time, but they declined. They weren't interested
Really?
in that as an alternative.
Because I know Disney has an acclaimed internship program, so I don't know if reaching out to them is, if they could maybe give us some guidance on how to at least make a small piece of the trip curriculum-based.
I mean, the high school understands what the issue is.
And nobody's at high school stepped up.
No one
to-
stepped up.
Now, who, how do I get to that? But does the building administration, are they the ones that headed that trip up in the past?
No, I think this is the senior class.
So either the senior class or senior class advisor?
Right.
And then, so there's been no discussion or anything about that? Okay.
And all the
Surprise.
other field trips then would be part of the school budget?
Right. My view is that if they're important, then they're important in the same way that mathematics is important, and it should be part of our budget. And so in the budget I'm going to propose to the board, all of the field trips are part of this budget.
Which I think is a great, I don't want you to think, I don't think that that's a great, because I think that's a good thing. I just, my question is, my concern is that we were doing it for so many years, and then all of a sudden we say, no, we're not doing it anymore. It just, I don't know, I feel bad for the kids, I do. And I personally think there's a way, if we really sat down and talked about it with some educators, at the high school, that we could figure out a way to tie it to the curriculum. I mean, to me, it's just a shame.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't have a problem with it, and give us some input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I agree. Because, you know, when kids think back about their school, unfortunately, they're not always going to remember what they did in math class, but they're going to remember the trip to Splish Splash or the trip to Disney. And it's an important element of what we do for them here.
Well, the trips we are supporting, two very big ones, one in 5th grade to Philadelphia, and in 8th grade, all the kids go to Washington DC. That was a fabulous trip last year.
Yeah, and, you know, I think those trips are great too. I just feel bad that it, you know, because like, you know, kids look forward to that trip. You know, I know not everybody goes. You know, my son didn't go last year, but I know kids look forward to that trip, and it's just unfortunate that there hasn't been more of a push from
The other side.
within to get that going, you know?
Well, as I said, I suggested that they look into Williamsburg, but I didn't hear back from them.
Okay.
All right.
And the time you hear back from them would be now.
Yes, yesterday.
Anybody else have anything for discussion?
No?
Any comments from the resident? No?
Once, going twice.
Motion to convene public, go back to exec. Rob, second Mike, all in favor?
Thank you for joining us. However brief it might have been.
Are you going to?